Oh, what up? What up? What up? All right, we're live. Let me know if y'all can't hear something. As usual, I'm gonna go ahead and use this couple minutes to share the link. I feel like I can't hear something. Are y'all having? Can y'all hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, that's super loud. Is that loud? Can y'all hear the mic? Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear? Oh, you can hear the background. All right, you guys should be able to hear me okay now. Okay, I think we're doing good now. My Bluetooth was connected to like three phones, so I couldn't hear myself. What up? All right. Well, I guess it's gonna be a bunch of racket. Sorry about that. See if I could turn that down. Hopefully that gets a little bit lower. Oh yeah, that's better. Got the little knob going. Uh, Happy Sunday, everybody. Uh, it's the middle of what, March now. I don't know how we got here so fast. Uh, but here we are. Fake spring. Uh, Tornado warnings and hurricanes and uh, allergies, and makes you want to be outside and pretend like something happening. So yeah, happy fake spring, everybody. Uh, here. I feel like we're like a now we're not even a yeah, about a quarter through the year already. Wow, I mean, time is moving fast. I feel like it was just I feel like it was just New Year's. I feel like we were just celebrating and waiting for Cat Williams Cat Williams to come back on Shannon. And maybe the year don't start till Cat Williams comes back on Shannon Sharp. Uh, so I guess that's what we waiting for. But I mean, we here, y'all. Um, so my apologies for not being able to stream last week. Your boy was in a lot of pain, uh, trying to figure it out. So here we are. Hopefully, doing a whole lot better. Uh, Survive whatever hurricane was happening outside. So we here now. The internet's okay. So let's get down to business. What up? What up? What up, Ty? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So before we get officially started, I just want to say um, RIP to some people that lost their lives this in the last 2 weeks. Um, and shout out to all the family members and everybody um, that was able to make it. So, it's always a beautiful thing when somebody passes away and people are able to get together and enjoy each other's company and there's no drama. Shout out to the family, the Keyshawn family, the Battle family, um, all the people that slide down New Orleans and stuff uh, for Aunt Urs. Um, yeah, and it also makes you think about how you want to go out. Do you want to go out with just a regular funeral? You want it to be a party? You want it to be a celebration? You want it to be a send off? Um, so, um, yeah. So it's interesting to see how people's lives are celebrated. So, um, again, RIP and Earth. Um, yeah, Ty, I hear you. Not traveling. Um, I feel you. The weather is crazy right now. But speaking of not traveling, speaking of Ty and Chris and Shauna, happy early birthday to y'all. Um, couple of days. You know, shout out to y'all and happy early birthday, and I hope wherever you guys are celebrating. Well, I guess Ty and Shauna were just together. It's interesting, early, so that's good. That's good. I didn't put the dates together, but yeah, happy birthday, happy celebration. Um, every day is not promised, so um, every day that you can spend with somebody that you love and cherish and appreciate, don't get caught up in the madness. Just appreciate what you got. Okay, my camera's looking a little crooked. It's doing a little shuffling around, so I'm gonna fix this. Throwing me off a little bit. Okay, that feels a whole lot better. So we are gathered here tonight to talk about a couple of shows. Now, and I don't know, there was a couple of things that I was like really looking forward to already at the beginning of the year, and some of it has not ended well. Um, some of it is going in a different direction than I hoped for. Some of this stuff is just disappointing. So tonight, specifically, we're going to be talking about three shows. Let's see. Going to be talking about Paradise, right? Sterling K. Brown. We're going to be talking about Invincible, who just finished its season 3. And we're going to be talking about Daredevil Born Again. So if you guys are not caught up, uh, Daredevil is basically a season 4 from the Netflix show that they had. Um, but now it's like Disney Plusified uh, with different writing and different characters. Invincible is in season 3. We were waiting for this, right? We were waiting for see if Nolan was going to return, and Mark's brother Oliver, how he was going to turn out, and the Viltrumites, and see how they were gonna if they were gonna attack the Earth this season and take over, what was going to happen. And we were hoping to see Mark man up and be able to be on his Superman and save, excuse me, and save Earth, right? Because he's Earth's mightiest protector. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. And then Paradise we got with Sterling K. Brown, which was a new show that came out. Was on ABC. It had like the after shows on Hulu. I think it actually went off last week, so we're about a week out from the finale. So give y'all some time to put up. So I'm gonna just get into it. All right. This is gonna be spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. So non-spoiler, if you need a non-spoiler kind of something, uh, uh, let's say marry, kill, make love to. Out of the three of them, uh, that's hard. Marry, kill. Okay, at this point, I'm ready to kill Invincible. Let's get let's get that out the way. So kill Invincible. It seemed like it was gonna be a long-term relationship, but it's not working out, so we gotta part ways. Um, marry, I would say let's marry Daredevil. And even though this is the bad part, this is the bad year in the relationship of the marriage, we're gonna hope that it gets better and that it turns out to be as good as what it was. So that's marry and kill, and then sleep with paradise because it was a solid, for the most part, a solid season. But I'm not sure if you want to keep this around long term. So there you go. I'll put it in the chat. You guys can put it in the chat. Marry, kill. Um, okay, so marry, Daredevil, kill, Invincible, and make love to. I'll just put love, paradise. I don't know who you are, but I feel like this season of Event was mid. Season three was mediocre. Wait, I don't know who you are, but I feel like this season of Event was medium. Season three was mediocre. Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about Invincible or are you talking about Daredevil? Because technically we're on season four, so I'm thinking you're talking about season three of Invincible. And yeah, I would agree that season three was pretty mediocre, but I'm gonna break that down. And I'm gonna get now they were good, there were highs and lows. There were highs and lows, but the reason why I'm ready to get rid of Invincible, keep. The reason why I want to get rid of Invincible is not probably the reason why everybody else wants to get. So we'll come back to that. I'm gonna talk about Paradise, and the reason why I'm gonna talk about Paradise is one, it has the shortest, um, what do you call it? What do you call it? Um, I don't wanna say longevity, but it has, like, the least amount of things to talk about. So I'll talk about Paradise first, and it's a new show. A lot of people haven't seen it, so this is either gonna tell you to see it or not see it, and then there's a lot of people watching Invincible, and there's a lot of people watching Daredevil, so there's a lot more to talk about. Yeah, keep. Sorry if I messed that up. Alright, Paradise. Paradise. Alright, so Paradise is a show starring Sterling K. Brown. Now, he's probably well known for that show, what is it? It's not Like Us, like the what is it? Just Us or something? Uh, okay. It's something Us. What is it? This Is Us. Okay. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. So I've never seen This Is Us. From what I heard, it's a tearjerker. It's like 10 seasons. No, it's probably like 6, 7 maybe. Right here it looks like 6 or 7. I never watched it. I know a lot of people are like really dedicated to it. A lot of people were into it that way. Now this is like his show though. So it was those 3 characters. They were the main characters, the siblings. This is his show. He's supposed to be the main character. Now, what Paradise is basically about, um, it's the synopsis is really like, um, Sterling K. Brown is playing Xavier Collins, and basically he's a Secret Service person, and his role is to protect the president. He's like the president's main guy, and then basically he has to protect him through the transition from the events that's about to happen through the events that does happen. And one day Xavier goes to check on President Cal, and he finds him dead. So this is just like this is kind of like whose fault it is, who done it. Was it the Secret Service people? Was it the shadow government that's behind everything that really made this happen? Was it his wife, ex-wife? Is it his senile like dad going on? Is it his mistress, basically, essentially that he's messing with, or or is it one of the residents in this kind of like area that they're in? Now, to basically bring it up to date, and Rod, you said you never seen This Is Us either. I'm glad Sterling K was in it because he did make the show like this is his show. And unfortunately, you saw that the dude that played President Cal Bradford, who's played by James Marsden, you thought he was going to be in it more, but essentially he's dead. So usually you see him through flashbacks. But overall, end of the world happens, and the lady that's in charge of the new world, they're basically in this dome, right? This giant dome living out like the end of the world. And you have the president, Cal, who's basically like transitioning from like how things used to be and kind of giving people like a peace of mind and stuff. But really, he's not the person in charge. The person in charge is the lady that built everything. And we basically call her Sanat. I don't really remember her real name, but basically that's what they call her. So again, this show was kind of sold as being like this who done it, who killed the president, how did this happen on his watch? You know, are there people working against the established government and leadership? Is there a coup happening? Plus, you don't really know like why they're where they are, or where they are. You don't know that through like a couple of episodes. You figure out like what happened, and then you have to basically account for like the rest of the world, right? Um, so again, it was kind of created as like this whodunit, and I think that's where it kind of fell off the rails because they didn't keep it that way, unfortunately. So listed on IMDb, there's 8 episodes, and we'll just kind of talk about each episode, um, because I mean, like it's the story is pretty simple, right? For the people that are watching Severance, right? Like I was hoping that this was gonna be as elaborate as Severance, and then and then as the mystery unfolded in like 2 to 3 seasons. But I mean, the threads are really short. Maybe they didn't know if they were gonna be able to, renew it for a second season. And then the way that the second season is gonna be, it's kind of setting up for a whole different show. So I'll talk about that. What were there was a show last year, with the vaults that was based on the video game. Uh, Fallout. Yeah. Now, again, Fallout is a little bit different because Fallout really kind of Fallout basically takes place like completely after everything happened, and then like people are trying to see what's going on outside of the world. Where this is supposed to be like in the beginning, like when the world ends and how people are adjusting to this, and then they have to keep reminding themselves like, "Yo, like, oh yeah, like we only have a certain amount of types of foods and stuff like that. Like we can only do a certain amount of things every day because we're all living in this same kind of like thing every day, right?" Think about it kinda like a giant, like, base or bunker, kinda like an underground bunker. Alright, so like I say, 8 episodes, it will track IMDb first. Alright, so the important characters to note are Xavier, which is he's basically, the main Secret Service guy, um, and then Sinatra, who is basically the Elon Musk of the world, billionaire lady that built this whole kind of facility, right? Dr. Ravi, who's basically like Sinatra's like therapist, who ends up basically being like available for everybody else. You got Jane, who is another Secret Service lady. Um, and then you got, I'm trying to remember dude's name. Which his name was because he's not listed at Trent. No, I don't remember, but it'll come to me. Um, right, and then you got um, Xavier's 2 kids, his son and his daughter. You don't know what happened to the wife. Um, if he had a wife, if like what happened, like you don't know anything like going into it. And then Cal is the president, and then basically Cal's dad, right? The way that the show starts out, Watts, is it Watts? Are you saying Watts is the dude's name, or are you saying Watson, like the TV show Watson? Um, so the show starts out the show's like in the paradise. So you don't start out like the end of the world is happening and like everyone's panicking. Like you start out like a regular day, like in the paradise, whatever, whatever, whatever. And finds the president dead. Right? So then it's like this whole like kind of scramble, like what's going on. Now, like not only basically like there's this thing like a football, but it's like a tablet, and the tablet has all this information, and then that's missing. So then you're trying to figure out like again, like what they don't know what's on the tablet. So who got the tablet? Why did they murder him? Why is it so bloody? Like, right? Then you start fast forwarding, like you seeing that Xavier like seen him the night before. Then they gotta check like they gotta check the cameras and all of that. Like the cameras are down, so you're trying to figure out like why are the cameras down, all of this stuff. So the first one is basically like analyzing like the scene of like what's happening, what's going on, and trying to like start doing interviews and people coming in and stuff like that, right? Then the second episode, um, it says it's entitled Sinatra, and it says Agent Xavier gets interrogated, right? So okay, they said Samantha Redmond, she's Sinatra, so we kind of find out like why her code name is Sinatra, all of this stuff. And then we start like going back and figuring out like how uh like how the idea of like paradise like came about and like what kind of made this all start coming up. Um Episode 3, um basically Xavier starts getting with right, so and they kind of like rush through this, but I mean, you know, we're still trying to figure out what's going on with his wife, and he messes around with, Dr. Karabi, like, same episode, and then at the end of the episode, she's like, she whispers the dude, like, "Oh, if something happened to the president, he told me to find you, but, we have to do it in the shower because they're listening and all the place everything is bugged and this." So then you start, is everything bugged? Like everything? And then you like slowly you find out that like every single thing like is on video, everybody's houses are bugged. So somebody is watching and hearing everything. And you don't know if it's a natural or if don't know like who it is, like what else is going on. But in the meantime, you find out more about like what's happening in the paradise, right? You're finding out that they can only they have certain amount of things that they can eat and stuff like that, and resources are like and there's X amount of people in there, so there's like a lot of people that they saved, but the people that they saved were like important people that they saved, yada yada yada. So it was like this whole calculated thing. So Billy's the name of the dude. So Billy and Jane are like the two Secret Service people working under Xavier. And then they start finding out Billy's backstory. So here's what stuff started letting me down. Because they were building this whole relationship between Billy and Xavier and like he was like his like road dog in this. Like if anything happened to Xavier, like Billy was gonna be there to like take care of the kids and like, if he was the first person Billy was the first person that Xavier called, like when they were trying to figure out what happened to the president, and then they were trying to shut stuff down, yada yada yada. Right. So then we started getting like this backstory on Billy, right? Now, this is where stuff gets crazy. We find out that Billy and Jane, I think I called her right. They both were, yeah, Jane and Billy. Basically, the reason why the cameras went out the night of when the president died is because they turned. Now we're looking at them crazy, like, wait, but they're in the Secret Service, so now like who's controlling them, and how come they're not following orders and this and that? And then come to find out, they turned off the cameras in the White House, so that they could play weed without getting caught when the president's asleep. And you find out that they're hooking up and this and that. So then, like, it's this whole. So then it's like this whole like sloppy thing. Like y'all messed up. Y'all didn't turn the camera back on, and then this all happened because y'all were being reckless, yada yada yada. And then, as you're like, again, this is like halfway through the season. So as you're building up this kind of like caring concern for Billy in this, and then you start getting his backstory, and you start realizing like he was abused by his dad and this and that. Then you realize that basically he's a gun for hire, and that's why. So basically, she has sleeper agents in the paradise, which makes sense. Which in theory is pretty cool that she can basically like just call up like when she needs something to get done, like they can quietly handle it outside of outside of President Cal's like Secret Service people, which is cool. But then they turn around and they kill Billy. And you like for real, like not by accident, like dead dead. After they just dedicated like a whole backstory episode to do. So this is where it kind of so then this is when I started getting frustrated because I'm like, all right, granted, like you have X amount of like characters in this show in this paradise, but you spent 4 episodes making us care about this one character, and then you try to get rid of him completely. Who are we supposed to like? Who are we gonna start caring about? Like, are you now? Is this gonna turn into like you know, uh, Walking Dead, where like you get close to a character and then they die, and then a group of new people come in and you start caring about him? Like, I don't know, but like it was kind of unfortunate. Not him being the whole like sleeper agent thing, which was fine, but the whole like you just got rid of him, and it was like people were attached to him as a character, and I felt like he could have just disappeared, and it would have made just as much sense as killing him. But whatever. So now you got the president dead. So now people are like dying like in 2 days, where this is supposed to be like like a super secure like location. So stuff is getting crazy. All right. So now Xavier starts kind of going rogue, right? So it says Xavier, episode 5, Xavier faces the consequences of his investigation. So he's doing his own investigation outside of what Sinatra's doing. Um, and then meanwhile, Cal's family, which is the president, their history starts coming up. So again, now you start getting like this whole like backstory with like Cal and Cal's dad. and Cal's dad is senile, but like they had like a real like father son hate relationship, and Cal was only two. But again, like you're getting all of these backstories for characters that are dead. So what's the point? Why are we caring about characters that are dead? We should only be caring about characters that are alive or the forward story for the characters that are alive. I guess, and I mean, the only thing that we get out of that kind of like family dynamic is the relationship that Cal has with his son, and the son is like trying to hook up with Xavier's daughter, yada yada yada. So it's like this whole thing that's not really important, but it's really they don't have anything for them to do. Um, so whatever. Like again, we're just getting like these side stories. So now we're in episode 6 or episode 5. We're on episode 6, and all we do is have filler. Alright, so episode 6, we got some miracles. Xavier and Robinson. Now Robinson is like she's like security. So she's not Secret Service, she's like security. So the like 2 black people in Daggone Paradise, they get together and now they like going rogue and doing this, going like against Sinatra, which is fine, right? But like in the grand scheme of things, it's like, okay, y'all are going rogue and getting a militia together. Okay, but like the whole time I'm just thinking like what the end result is gonna be for the rest of these people that live in this so-called paradise. If the president dies and the lady that builds it, you got like some random people just running the place from like going forward. I don't know. So that's where we are. And then now the coolest episode, which might end up order something, is this episode 7, which is called The Day. And it might have been like one of the longest episodes. And this is kind of what started like restoring kind of my hope back in the show. Basically, it's like the day, not the day that the earth stood still, but what happened that made them go into the bunker, right? And basically, like we didn't know if it was gonna be like the meteorites coming down, crashing the Earth. We didn't know if it was gonna be like a nuclear thing, and we had no idea like what was going to cause like these people to flee into it. But obviously, this facility, this dome was built for a worst case scenario, so they knew something was coming. So this is basically going from like D-Day to like they're dipping off and leaving everybody else behind. Whereas you see like all these other people coming from different places and trying to get in, people that are supposed to be in, people that aren't supposed to be in, and like how they checked in the people that were supposed to be in there, how they fought against the people that wasn't supposed to be in there. And then the coolest part about the whole episode was what happened between Xavier and his wife. How come she's not? And in case you want to go see that, or in case you want to watch it, but there's a reason why she's not in there with them, and you feel it. It's not just something that is explained. Like you feel it, and again, that's like besides like the Billy episode, like that's again like one of those like best episodes because you feel the characters, right? Like it's not just explained, it's not just filled in. You're not just watching like just things fall apart. Like feel the tension, you feel pressure, and even if you swim across the lake, if you make it and the other people don't, like you feel that. So top tier episode, great acting, but not only Sterling K. Brown, but also for President Cal, right? Again, he really makes the show because like like he's playing this character that has to be more than anybody, like calm and collective, cool, calm and collective while everything is happening, and he be there for the American people, right? Like he's not just like, all right, I'm out. Like he's like really trying to be there, and so I mean, just an excellent, excellent episode. So it really like really made me excited for episode 8, The Man Who Kept Secrets, and we felt like we were gonna get all these answers. And we did get all the answers, and the answers were whack. And I mean, they basically talk about how like not a lot of backstory and characters coming in that I've seen before and this and that, which is fine. But I didn't like the resolution. And it went from who done it, who, what, why, where, how, to this happened, and now going forward, we're gonna do something different. And I say that to say like if you enjoy this season in its entirety on its own forward, it's gonna be a completely different show. It's not gonna be like what's happening in this paradise, who's behind this paradise, why are all of these people dying, what's going on. It's just going to be a completely different, probably knocking on the territory of other shows, um, like Fallout and a lot of other. Um, and I'm not gonna say what they're gonna do. But apparently, it was told that the writers or the not the writers, but like the people that made the showrunners had said from the beginning that they want each season to feel different than the other one. Which you can take how you want with it. Some people aren't good at sticking to the plan, aka Marvel, um, and that might be hard to map out over multiple seasons. So maybe they feel like they get more flexibility if they do different things. But personally, I feel like that's just gonna make it harder to keep interest because like if you take Batman and you put him in Gotham City and he's doing superhero stuff, and then the next season, he's a billionaire Lakers franchise, even though he's the same person. I don't know if that story and that character works, and I don't know if this character in other storylines work. Um, so we'll see. That being said, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about a second season. Am I gonna jump right into it? I don't. Overall, in real time, I will rate Paradise a B minus, and and it's gonna be up to the showrunners to make it better or worse going forward. But the way that it ended, because of the direction that it's going, plus again, you're building up the importance of certain characters, and then you're just moving on from them, bothers me so much. At least with Walking Dead, like and Game of Thrones, like you had established characters that brought you through a lot of the story, right? Even if people were dropping like flies in the beginning, like there's a main group of people that you stick with, and then those people might turn over, but then you get invested in another group of people, whatever, whatever. Um, and I don't know if this character Xavier by himself is strong enough to carry multiple seasons of multiple different shows. So I'll rate this a B minus. I still recommend seeing it. I think the acting in this is really good. Um, and if it was a limited series, I would be perfectly fine with that. I think I would be more fine with this being a limited series. else. And honestly, I think if it was a limited series, I think I would rate it high. So there you have it, folks. Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully, Amber is in here somewhere. I got her to watch it. I got some other people that are watching, waiting for them to catch up. So you let me know in the comments. Let me know. Did you like Paradise? What did you like? What didn't you like? Who was your favorite character? And were you sad to see Billy go? I think he could have been redeemed, and I think that hurts the most is when you don't allow those characters to be redeemed. So there you go. Check it out regardless. Uh, Shout out to Sterling K. Brown, and I wish him good luck in all his future endeavors. Now, moving on, we are going to talk about Daredevil. And the reason why I'm going to talk about Daredevil is because we are 3 episodes in. So it's a very short, thing to talk about compared to Invincible, like it's a whole season. So give me give me 2 minutes. Um, Give me 2 minutes, and then we will talk about. I need to wet my whistle. Give me 2 minutes to wet my whistle, and then we'll come back and talk about Daredevil episodes 1 through BRB. My thing, I was playing music for y'all and the thing went out. It's all good. Yo, L, why your messages keep getting retracted? I said that before, but you probably didn't hear me. Ty. So, all right. So the kind of bring you up to speed, Ty. Um, when it comes to Daredevil, there is a movie with Ben Affleck that happened like a very, very, very long time ago. And as far as that movie is concerned, has nothing to do with the TV shows for Daredevil. Now, the Daredevil TV show that I'm referring to, the first one was on Netflix like 2015, 16 type. Like that's how long ago. It was like peak like Marvel um television because it was on Netflix and Disney didn't have nothing to do with it. And it set off like a bunch of different TV shows that happened and they were perfect. And it was basically like Daredevil's universe. And then what happened is uh Disney decided they canceled all the Netflix shows and then spent like 10 years before they brought them into Marvel, then only brought this Daredevil one into Marvel. And on top of that, they tried to like rewrite it and change it all. So now we're dealing with basically them trying to change it, but then backtracking and being like, okay, we're gonna keep the major characters, but we're gonna kill off the important characters from the original TV show and move them off the board, and then give you some whack characters that you don't care about, and then try to bait you with nostalgia by bringing in cameos from the old seasons of the one from Netflix. So, no, I'm not having a good time. And we're 3 episodes in, so we're past the 2-episode premiere, and I'm about to talk bad about it because it's pissing me off. Now, as I'm watching this, I am also going back and watching like the Netflix, Daredevil show, and I'm on season 2, which was the season that people weren't happy about, and I'm still enjoying season 2 more than I'm enjoying this Daredevil Born Again. Look, call me what you want. You can call me on my what Lil Wayne said, call me what you want. You can call me on my sidekick. Shout out to everyone that had sidekicks back in the day. Anyway, the point that I'm saying is it was cool back then. Now it's not. Now, if you see my video that I put up the other day about episode 3, I compared it to basically get back with your ex after she gained a bunch of weight and had babies by a bunch of people, a bunch of other people. All right. That's what this season feels like. Like it's trying to stroke off of the um the nostalgia, but like it's hollow and it's tired and it doesn't have time for you. And the fact that they keep like also we don't know how or why this ties into the greater universe of Marvel, right? So a lot of times, like let's take the WandaVision series, right? That ended up that why that was important is because one of her kids, Billy, and the other one are important to the future of the Young Avengers. Um, and then also like Wanda going crazy and turning evil was a whole catalyst for Doctor Strange movie, the Multiverse of Madness, which also introduced like America Chavez and being able to travel across the whole multiverse, yada yada yada. So all of that led to something. The Captain America and Falcon, no, no, Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show led to Captain America: Brave New World, and now Bucky is going to lead to Thunderbolts, right? So now the Hawkeye show, full circle, had Fisk in it, which is Kingpin, the main villain of the Daredevil TV show, and now they're bringing that full circle because now he's back after that show, and now he's still the main villain or the main antithesis for Daredevil now in this iteration of Daredevil. You said this will be when Shogun 2 comes out. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. But even worse is you look for these threads and connections for these TV shows connect to something bigger, and we have no idea what it's connecting to. Like there's no like hint of what it's connecting to because it's so self-contained that we're not getting anything else, right? Um, so that's one problem that I'm having. Um, so now we're in 3 episodes. Okay. First, before I say anything, I want to say RIP to the actor who played White Tiger in Daredevil Born Again. If you have not seen Daredevil Born Again yet, the actor who played the White Tiger died in real life and was struggling with cancer while he was filming it. Now, here's the crazy thing. I guess he didn't tell anybody, so his character is limited in this show, and they're probably gonna bring, like, the character of White Tiger back, and it's gonna be, like, his niece or something, probably, like, down the line in the future somewhere. That's all in the comics, so that all makes sense. But nonetheless, RIP to him because he died before this season got aired. So he never got to see how it all turned out. Now, with that being said, I want to actually see what his name is. So give me 1 second. It's a good question, Raj. That's a good question. Here's the thing about the character White Tiger. Kind of similar, like Black Panther stuff, but he's powered by like this amulet. And basically, like the amulet can get passed down. Um, and they're basically like a ninja. I mean, you think Black Panther, White Tiger, it's synonymous without the vibranium, like the agility and all of that stuff. That being said, the way that they handle this character in this show, they did this character dirty. So it does make you think of, is it worth bringing the character for that mantle back? Um, so now we'll get into spoiling. And because there's already been 3 episodes that have dropped, I'm going to basically do this in no specific. Alright. So number one, not only did the character not only did the actor playing White Tiger die, character of White Tiger died in the last scene of episode 3 by getting his brains blown out. This dude now, this dude's supposed to be like this white tiger, got the amulet on, probably agility, super senses, all of that stuff, and he literally takes one to the head. He takes one to the dome. Not on some, like, got beat up and it happened, like, he was walking down the street and dude put one to the head, like like put the barrel to the head, like, not Point Dexter, Bullseye in episode 1, hitting dudes from roofs and stuff, walked up on my man on some, like, old, uh, 1940s, uh, gangster TV show in a dark alleyway somewhere and just took my man out and dropped the gun and ran off. He did my man dirty. So, basically, episode 3 is geared towards getting dude off of, out of jail, because basically he fights 2 cops, 2 undercover cops that he didn't know were undercover. One dude fell off of a subway rail and died. They tried to pin it on him. Matt Murdock, who is, the Daredevil in at night, basically is a cop during the day. So him and his firm are representing, I think his name is Hector, and, they're basically working to get him out of jail for not killing the cops. Now, with all of that, right, um, let me see, I'm trying to find a dude. That's the one thing about IMDb is they have, like, too many characters, and it's hard to find the one character you're looking for. I'll find it. But a couple things happened in this episode. Now, mind you, we have 3 seasons of Daredevil to base this off, right? Like, this isn't like a multiverse version of, like, Matt Murdock. This is the same Matt Murdock. So whatever his reputation is in those 3 seasons have to still be the same in this 4th season. And basically basically, they got the character off by Matt got the character off by outing the dude as White Tiger. Camar de los Reyes is White Tiger, aka Hector. So now Matt is struggling to be Daredevil this year, which is a whole nother topic that we'll get into. But knowing that he's a vigilante and outing White Tiger as the White Tiger, worse than like Iron Man outing himself as Tony Stark, because at least he chose to do it. He didn't even run it by Hector and bring it up as like a plan. He just did it, which is messed up. So like Hector didn't even fight back and was just like, I mean, it's out there now, and was upset, but like didn't like object or anything. And then basically what Matt does is he gets people to testify like, "Oh, White Tiger is a good person because he saved my life." And then he got cops to be like, "Yeah, we like him because he helps us out. He's a friendly neighborhood White Tiger." And then the jury's like, "Oh, he must not have killed the cop because cops like him." Now there's a whole subplot with the cops basically running around with Punisher tattoos, basically they're basically like, running around with Punisher tattoos, basically trying to do bad stuff, like under like the guise of Punisher, even though that's not what Punisher represents. So basically, like the White Tiger was a subplot for these Punisher cops, which again, whatever, subplot for a subplot for a subplot. But we spent 2 episodes on Hector and his impact in the community, only for him to be a subplot and killed by episode 3. Raj says that that emulate might be a bootleg from the bodega, the way you're describing how he went out. Now, here's the other thing. People online were saying that, like, if in the comics, him getting shot in the head, even if it put him out, it shouldn't have killed him. So people are like, "Oh, maybe he ain't really dead. He ain't really dead." But the way that they're writing this season, he's dead. And the fact that dude was already dying in real life and was all like really sick in real life, he was probably dead. Unfortunately. So, RIP to Hector, aka Kamar de los Reyes. Now there's something cool that they did at the end of the episode. Like they played like these kind of like songs from like like the motherland and all of that stuff. Um Trying to show like Hector was in paradise, but really like showing that Kamar was in paradise was dope. But there was no fighting in the whole episode 3. And this is a Daredevil show. And what I mean by that is this is a whole other caliber of fighting and action, and there's no fighting. So much so, the only fight scene that we got in episode 2 is when Matt was fighting the cops that was looking for the witness that was gonna be able to exonerate Hector on the stand. They basically broke into the house looking for the witness. Matt was in there. They didn't care that he was blind, and then they were gonna take Matt out and not ask questions. But Matt being super trained the way he is took the cops out. And then we thought that Matt killed the cops, which we're okay with. I think any fan is okay the way that this season is shaping up. But just like in episode 1 when Matt pushed, Bullseye off the roof and we thought he died, he didn't die. So that brings me to what my biggest problem is. Disney wants to show that characters are dying, but they don't wanna let them stay dead because it's Disney. So it's like you wanna be visceral and show somebody's head getting chopped off. As long as the head could grow back, it's okay. Got it. And that's the biggest difference between Daredevil from Netflix and Daredevil from Disney. Um, Now, the only real death that's happened is Foggy dying, which not really happy about it, but okay, whatever. Like if you watch the original, like Foggy and Karen are important to Matt, but if you want to use those characters to drive Matt in a different direction, okay. But I have some gripes. All right. We're up to episode 3. Foggy dies. Basically, they jump to a year ahead, and Matt is living his best life. All right. Um, Matt got a new girlfriend. Matt got a new apartment. Matt got a bigger and better law firm that he's working at. He's not the Daredevil, and it doesn't seem like he has any issues in his life. Moved on from Foggy's death. He moved on from Karen leaving. which was supposed to be like his on and off again boo. Don't seem like anything's affecting him. Uh, so now I get the biggest problem with Foggy's death is half the people watching this show don't even realize the importance of Foggy to Matt. There's no backstory. There's no showing Matt going through it. Matt ain't pick up a bottle. He ain't picked up like no yaya to numb the senses and you know what I mean? Like he's not out without a mask beating up old folk. Like so his death after 3 seasons doesn't matter. Just it is what it is. Um Matt himself is not showing any character struggles, and it seems like he's doing better without the dead weight. Pun intended. Matt doesn't seem to struggle without being Daredevil. Now, the thing is, it doesn't seem like Matt is not Daredevil because Foggy died, and he blames himself. He's not Daredevil basically because he was gonna let Poindexter die when he pushed him off the roof. But Poindexter was good, which is a whole nother thing. Because yeah, they just introduced adamantium in Captain America: Brave New World, but they didn't bring that up saying that he got it in his bones like he does in the comics. And even if his bones got it, what that got to do with his heart? He's not Wolverine. He's not a mutant like that. Like he shouldn't be able to fall off and not be smushed into the ground. You were gonna let somebody die, but he didn't die. But then a year later, you basically killed the cops because you basically almost took their necks out. But it's cool because they didn't die. It doesn't make sense. Cause now you pretty much would have 3 bodies on you, regardless if you were Daredevil or Matt, and neither would make a difference. So would you stop being Matt Murdock if you killed the 2 cops in the apartment? Because that's the reason why you stop being dead. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, bro. Where's the camera? It doesn't make sense, bro. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Now, there's this whole relationship between Fisk and Matt. Just like if you've ever seen the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s, and Fisk and Spider-Man would go back and forth. Fisk is more is it seems like he's more important in this storyline than he's ever been in any of the other storylines in the show. Like it's almost like Daredevil and Fisk born again. It's not just Matt Murdock born again. It's not just Daredevil born again. It's Matt Murdock, and it ain't even Daredevil born again because dude, camera. Daredevil is dead. Okay, so it's really Matt and Fisk born again, which I kind of have a problem with, and not so much because it's Fisk, because I love Fisk and I love Vincent D'Onofrio. I have a problem with he's not doing anything, but going to couples counseling with Vanessa and maybe complaining on a vlog or two. I mean, he's the mayor, and he ain't out in the streets. He ain't getting goons to do that. Like he's literally not doing anything. And I don't think he had anything to do with Victor's death. Straight up, like it was almost like they brought him in after the fact. It was like, yo, We're gonna give you like 8 scenes, and you're just gonna film on these closed locations and just talk. That's literally what like, it feels like he's not even in the show. Like it would be better to have Jonah Jameson do ad libs after every episode more than it would be to have Fisk be in this show. That's how I feel. And this whole thing with Vanessa, like Fisk in the original Netflix shows was taking dudes' bodies and putting them into the doorways of trucks and continuously closing the door so you heard the snap and saw the blood trickle down over a dude interrupting Fisk's time being with Vanessa. Now you got a whole dude knocking Vanessa down, and he's just, "Okay, let's go to couples therapy." Are you serious? I don't care how reformed he is, how tired he is. Do you not did you like, have you ever seen Breaking Bad? Like, the dude in the wheelchair was crippled and all he had was a belt. Let's see. Wheelchair guy. Mark Margolius, Hector Salamanca. Yo, yo. Hector Salamanca from Breaking Bad was making stuff happen in a wheelchair as a mute and crippled, and all he could do was ring a bell. And he was sending goons after dudes' heads. So I don't care if Fisk is a mayor or not. I don't care. You don't let like your active life get knocked down by some random dude. You don't want to take her head off? Cool. That you need to have. This is the face you need to have, right? When you talk about some random dude knocking off you. The Salamanca face. Matter of fact, matter of fact, this is what makes this worse. This is what makes this worse. Benson and Afro went toe with somebody on this looks like Twitter the other day. Look at this. So Vincent D'Onofrio, who's been playing Fisk since at least 2014, was posting the Rotten Tomatoes about the Daredevil Born Again. This was a couple days ago. This dude named Dumbass said it sucks actually, and your character is pathetic and thoroughly ruined. And the actor, Vincent D'Onofrio, replied, "Thanks for your support, dumbass." You think that's sarcastic? The actor playing Fisk had more, let's call it gumption, more than the character of Fisk over a dude that's sleeping with his active wife while he spent 3 seasons pursuing her. And after 20 minutes, she cheats on you, and he's just like, "Alright, cool, babe. Let's go to counseling." Nah. Vigilantes? Vigilantes? That ain't got nothing to do with you right now? Your mayor, vigilantes is what makes you mad in the morning? but not your wife running your empire behind your back, even though you're trying to stay clean and pure in front of the public. But your wife running your underground empire, even though you say you didn't want to have nothing to do with it, but that doesn't make you mad. But vigilantes though, even though it's been at least over a year since you had to deal with a vigilante face to face. All right, cool, bro. All right, cool. So what does that mean? What does that mean, cousin London? What does that mean about Daredevil Born Again? I don't have no tomato meter or nothing like that. Okay? That means I'm not talking about Daredevil until it's over. Or 3 episodes in, there's eight episodes, I think, maybe 9 episodes for the season. How they got 17 episodes listed on IMDb? There's 9 episodes listed. There's 9 episodes listed. April 15th is the last episode. That is literally a month from now. I'm not going to talk about Daredevil Born Again for 30 more days. That's what that means. Now I'm not going to watch it week to week. I don't know. I may or may not. I'm enjoying, you know what I'm enjoying right now? I'm watching season 2 of Daredevil from Netflix, and I'm watching random Ninja Turtle stuff because I heard that there's a correlation between Ninja Turtles and Daredevil. Because basically, Daredevil was created of the inspiration of the Ninja Turtles. So much so, so much so, so much so that I went out and I bought this book, The Last Room. So now I'm hooked on this. Like I'm going down the Ninja Turtle rabbit hole. This is where I'm at. And that doesn't mean that I'm not into Daredevil. I'm just not into the Born Again Daredevil from Disney. Um, and I hope Disney and Marvel and MCU get it together. And I'm hoping that Fantastic Four does not let us down, or else they're gonna be 10 feet under trying to call themselves out. If you want to watch good Daredevil content, and I don't even remember the Daredevil from I want to call him Batfleck, Ben Affleck, and the Electra movie. I don't care if you watch that or not. If you want good Daredevil content, watch from Netflix, and maybe even check out the Defenders. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. And we'll talk about this, I guess, in a month, and then I'll give you an overall rating. But the way that this show is going, like it's not even a good Law and Order show. I'm not excited about it. So that leaves us with Invincible. Let me see. I am. Oh, this is the last thing. This was what they said from the. This is what they said after the first 2 episodes dropped. Hilarious. And if you watch it, you'll see what we mean. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. Yo, Raj, should I talk about? I only want to talk about. I really only want to talk about episodes 7 and 8 from Invincible. But no, actually, I need to talk about Oliver. We'll start with Oliver. Let's see. I mean, honestly, I think Oliver has been the staple. Uh, this is hilarious. Yo, you want to know what's funny? Like on some like having nothing to do with it. The way that Oliver got struck. Okay, let me not say it like that. Um, I don't know how to say this. Oliver grows very fast from a baby to a kid, and I want to say that you know Oliver may have grown to be a foot taller by the way that Conquest, I'm just gonna say fought him. I'm gonna just stick with that because I can't say that because it's gonna sound crazy. If you seen it, you know what you know what I'm saying. But I can't. There's no safe way of saying. Okay. Now, for me, the biggest takeaway from me from season three, Invincible, is Mark's half brother. I'm not saying the weird thing, bro. You say the weird thing. I'm not gonna say it. I refuse. It's already about to go in a weird direction. I'm not gonna add to nothing. I'm not gonna add nothing, no seasoning to the sauce. Okay. Now, the takeaway from for for Invincible, the takeaway for season three is Oliver. I've loved Oliver's development. I've loved his naivety. Right, he's not human. He's from another planet. I love his enthusiasm, and I love his about to get like let's go. Like let's he's about it. Like he's the little big brother, right? Mark is in trouble. He's going to save Mark, which we'll talk about. But um, basically Mark Mark is trying to train Oliver on being a superhero. But he's also trying to train him differently than how his dad trained him because essentially he doesn't want him to turn out like his dad. And like I said, he's not human, so he's trying to instill all of these empathetic qualities in Oliver that Oliver doesn't innately have. But Oliver is very smart. He is very tenacious, and he is very like, let's get it done. And it's interesting, right? Because Mark has only been doing this for like a couple of years now, and it's crazy to watch how he has to like mentor his little brother, but also he's overly concerned with Oliver because that's still his family. Now, the fact that Mark's dad beat the living daylights out of Mark, left him for dead, and then basically dropped off his half brother. I was like, "You take care of him," is insane, but we're here. I said I hate Oliver and everything he is and stands for because the writing is so childlike and not dark enough. Huh. So I'm glad you said that because is this not dark enough? I mean, what else? What else are you looking for? Like, like he ended that literally. Like there may not be any more of the brothers. Okay, what about this? I mean, the dude is literally covered in blood from head to toe. I mean, it doesn't get. I, I'm trying to find when he was standing in front of the mom, but like he's like literally like that's okay. Spoiler, spoiler. My man, like, look at this. Look at my man's body parts. Look at the blood. This is just as crazy as the first episode where Omni Man was tearing through him. Like, what are you talking? There's nothing childlike about my man. And no matter what happens to him, he's always ready to go. So say what you want to say. Fine. He's childlike. I mean, he's more badass than Mark at this point because he's doing what Mark won't do, which sounds crazy. But literally, now he's like, now Mark is like, man, yeah, you're right. I do need to take these dudes out. Like, are you kidding me? If that's childlike, bro, I don't. You're a masochist and you need help. And this is where you insert uh, BetterHelp.com ad. Okay, it's crazy. But anyway, see, episode 7 was my favorite episode. Now, again, I never read the comics, so I didn't. I'm anticipating that Mark is just going to do the trials and tribulations to get better and stronger and faster. Kind of like a poor man's Goku. But it doesn't seem like he's ever going to get better. He may be invincible and he may not die, even though it seemed like the Viltrumites could pretty much kill him. It doesn't seem like he's getting any tougher or more unstoppable. And I mean, I don't remember what year Invincible came out, but it had to be during 2020. It had to be during like the pandemic, so 2020, 2021. So we've been dealing with this for like 5 years now. To this point, be like, is Mark ever going to stop getting his ass whooped? No, he's not. See you next week. And I mean, ha ha ha, it's funny, but now I'm feeling like he won't. And that's my biggest these people and entities and all of this stuff that he's fighting. Again, I'm thinking he's going through the ringer, so much so, which is the key word of the day, ding ding ding. So much so that he's fighting multiverse hymns, right? Even Omniverse him, right? Even Dark Shadow him, right? Even Dick Grayson him, right? Mass Vigilante him, all of these different versions of him. And where was Mark at? Mark was in the hospital with Eve. He gave up on fighting him, like him and like him, peak marks, like the top marks of their universes are all on his earth at one time, destroying his earth. And this dude taps out and is like, I'm going to sit bedside by Eve. She might be dead, but I'm going to sit by Eve. Wow. His mom is vulnerable, Oliver is vulnerable, Cecil is vulnerable, all the other heroes are vulnerable, all the humans are vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Raj said exactly. The writers are still playing that Oliver is the true Viltrumite and not Mark. Audiences aren't stupid, or rather, I'm not. I'm losing interest each episode. I agree, but that doesn't mean I'm not enjoying Oliver. And that's my whole point. Isn't the whole point of this just like Gohan is supposed to be the ultimate Saiyan because he's half human, half Saiyan? I mean I get it, but like also, Goku was like raised by humans. Isn't the human element supposed to be making him the best? Right? Isn't the whole point of this that he's not yeah, he's not the strongest Viltrumite, but he's the best out of all of them? Isn't the human side supposed to be the part that makes him the best? And I agree, Oliver is the better Viltrumite because he's just like his damn daddy. Yes. But again, it's not like his brother isn't somewhere else. His brother is like Goku being raised by humans, which is supposed to make him a better hero. Because again, they're not supposed to just be Viltrumites destroying Earth. They're supposed to be heroes. And my problem, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, my problem is it doesn't feel like Mark is becoming a hero when he's sitting out with her in the hospital. Like once she got off the battlefield and knew she was good, he's supposed to be back in action, taking himself. Well, you ask me. Well, L, how bad could it get? Oh, you mean like we literally had like a reiteration of season one when uh Omni Man was running through the fake Justice League? And this is just one of the marks. Cecil had to import heroes from other dimensions to stop just the marks. They didn't even got to do nothing with the Brainiac dude. I could care less about the human element. Is he invincible or not? Let the bodies hit the floor every episode or end the show. I Yes or no, right? Like, is he supposed to be? I look at Mark as supposed to be having Superman's arc, except he's half human. Ultimately, he's supposed to be Earth's protector. He's not. So I don't think. Again, I never read the comics. Maybe you're coming for information more than I am. I don't think he's supposed to be the Viltrumite that conquers Earth, unless I'm wrong. Now, if you're talking about the bodies hit the floor, should be the bodies that attack Earth and try to conquer it every time, and then they gotta deal with him. Pretty much, he should be like Alan the alien sitting outside Earth, like, "Oh, you," just like Goku. "Oh, I find you here. How dumb of you to be here. Now catch these hands." To the point where Goku just be having fun fighting because he knows he could take these dudes, but he's in it for the love of the fight, and then he'll take you out. But I mean, I never expected that Mark. I don't expect Mark of this Earth, let's call Earth Prime. I don't expect that to be Mark. I don't expect Prime Earth Mark to be this. Not like his dad. Because I think his dad is even be on a redemption arc, which I was upset because I thought his dad was gonna show up and help him fight Conquest. Because Mark damn sure couldn't do it by himself, especially when Eve got really taken off the board, like for real, for real. I'm like, I thought Conquest was gonna come down with the punch, and his dad was gonna grab that joint and break his arm back. Because what was the point? What was Alan doing saving saving Omni Man if they're not even gonna be on Earth when the Viltrumites come to Earth? Like I thought that was the point. So now we gotta wait for another season to figure out like where they went because Conquest, in my opinion, well, I guess Conquest left before them, but it seems like they knew that he left, so why wouldn't they go to Earth to stop him? So I am losing interest, not because the bodies aren't piling up, because I think they are piling up. I mean, between Multiverse Mark and Oliver, the bodies are piling up. But this whole if my girl ain't in the fight, I ain't in it. Like Rex had more, you know, let's call it gumption. Rex was like, "Yo, you don't want to fight. I respect that, but I gotta go. I gotta go help my friends. I gotta go take care of business." And it's probably Mark's fault that he died because if he was fighting like he was supposed to, Rex probably would still be alive. That's our Mark, bro. But they didn't show that. They didn't put that on him again, which I feel like they're failing him. I feel like they're failing him. So I think I'm out for Invincible season 4. And I know they already like made it and it's coming out like the beginning of next year. At least I'm out to the point where as of right now, a year ahead, I'm not gonna be doing week to week episodes. If I like the season, maybe. I don't even know if I'm gonna rush to go see it. But if I like it, I'll recommend it. If I don't like it, I might not even talk about it. Um, because there's a lot of stuff to watch, and I'm not saying everything is good, but and I'm not going along this journey if Mark isn't gonna get better. Like if he's not gonna be the hero, I don't care. And that might be different than other people. And maybe they're expecting him to be something different. I don't know, but for me, if it's just gonna be like, yo, Mark, come get his ass whooping again, like a weak ass Peter Parker, I'm not into that. Now, for Raj, since you wanted to see bodies piled on floor, nope, Jack Quaid just did a movie. The dude from The Boys did Novocaine. Actually, that's right. That's right. Jack Quaid is the son of Dennis Quaid, the actor, and uh, her. Is it Sally? Meg Ryan. He is one of the main characters in the show The Boys. He did just have. He was just in the movie Companion, which I think is a good movie. Um, and I didn't get to review it for Valentine's Day, but I do recommend it. And may end up talking about it um, sometime in a couple weeks, maybe. But he did just have this movie Novocaine, and this is this is this is what I feel like we're supposed to be getting out of watching Mark in Invincible. So Rod, you watch it. Nepo baby, Jack Quaid, face and that. Hey, you the one that said you wanted to see bodies on the floor. You sure want to pick them and choose them. But I mean, I will probably talk about number team probably within the next week. Not gonna do like a whole like full breakdown, but I think I might do a video, and that's pretty much it. Trying to think, is there any other shows that or movies that we did not talk about? I think that was pretty much everything that was supposed to be. The only other thing that I was gonna say is, um, with Invincible is episode 7 was my favorite, and I'll take that episode out of everything else, and I'll throw away the whole season. But that episode where all the marks came, hell, I could have watched that as a standalone movie. Besides Mark pissing off, but the fact that all the marks were on Earth taking over, I mean, that could have been a movie all itself, like an animated movie, hour and 15 minutes. That could have been its own movie and would have been dope. Um, and the fact that they were all evil, like he's the only good one. It's perfect. It's perfect. Um, yeah. Only other thing that I heard. Oh, I mean, two unimportant things. Sadie Sink is cast in the new uh, Spider-Man 4 movie. Oh, if you don't know who Sadie Sink is, she is a part of the Stranger Things cast, which um, we are waiting for the final season. While I pull this up, Raj said those marks were all better than the actual mark on Earth Prime, as you call it. I agree 100%. Oh, Severance. Yes. Hold on. I don't care about the Freaky Friday new movie. I'll enjoy that. But I do have a poll up on my YouTube under the community tab. I have a poll up of Sadie Sink in Spider-Man 4. Who do you think she's gonna play? Mary Jane. Oh, and by the way, Sadie Sink is a natural redhead, which is a whole other thing because people are thinking that they're gonna make her stay a redhead. But outside of that, if you could fan cast her, would you have her play Mary Jane Watson, contrary to the MJ that's already in Spider-Man by Zendaya? Well, I think her name is actually Michelle, but she goes by MJ instead of Mary Jane. Gwen Stacy, who most people now know from, um, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Jean Grey, who obviously is an X-Men mutant, but, speculation, she might be Jean Grey, and that might be the way of slowly introducing the mutant characters. Or Felicia Hardy, AKA Black Cat, who was another one of, Spider-Man's love interests. We do know she is going to be a love interest. Um, so again, what do y'all think? See, can I share this? Y'all definitely leave y'all vote down. Actually, can I? Can I? Okay, I pinned it. Yeah, should have did that at the beginning. But anyway, we live, we learn. Um, so yeah, that was one of the things from the news cycle this week. She got cast. We know she got cast, but we don't know who she got cast as. So go ahead and vote who you think is going to be. Um, and then they keep going back and forth with this whole Jonathan Majors thing, but they're saying that Jonathan Majors is coming back to film scenes as King, but pretty much to get killed by Doom in the beginning of maybe Doomsday. Um, sure. You know what? Cool. Give Jonathan Majors another paycheck and be on his way. He got that, what is it, the Dreams movie coming out, I think next month. He got the magazine Dreams, which fun fact was already put out in like the film festival, so it's been filmed for, oh no, sorry, this just threw me off. I guess there is some articles on Google right now that if you want to Google Jonathan Majors' name, which I'm not going to show, but I guess in like People, the magazine slash website, I guess he opened up about some abuse that he had as a kid. That's very personal for him. So I'm gonna leave that at that. I'm not going to talk about that. That's different than talking about him filming something. But if you are interested, all you gotta do is Google his name literally, and under top stories, it's right there. Sorry to hear that. Um, but Magazine Dreams was already in, like, the film festivals and stuff like that, so it's been out for a couple years. Um, it just wasn't released. Um, trying to look for see, like I said, the initial release date was January 20th, 2023, but I think it got pulled after all of that stuff happened. So I'm trying to look at this is why I hate Google because it's hard to find this information you need, man. March 21st. Son of a The movie Amateur? Never heard of that. Remy Malek is the dude. When is this? Oh, I have no April 11th? I never even heard of this. I don't recognize I recognize John Berthel, who's the dude that plays Punisher. I don't really recognize any of the other names. Now, I guess it says Lawrence Fishburne is in it. Um, says it follows a CIA cryptographer who manages to blackmail his agency into training him to let him go after a group of terrorists killed his wife in London. Okay, speaking of Rami or Rami, I knew a dude named Rami and a dude named Rami, but um, if you have not seen Mr. Robot, it's a great TV show. 2015 and 2019, it stands on its own. Um, and that's an easy mystery type show that you don't know what in the world is going on to the very end. So I highly recommend that. That is one of those shows that's on my must watch. Um, if you just want something random to watch. I started it late. I think I started it like maybe 2 years ago or something. It was excellent. Just a fun thing watch. I was waiting for it to be done so I could binge it. But I know it was like 2 years ago. Definitely a good watch. Yeah, he's a good actor. The Amateur, I didn't know anything about that. I'm gonna have to check that out. It could either go good or bad. Um, Lawrence Fishburne is in it, and John Berthel is in it, so, you know, high hopes. Any other recommendations? I was supposed to be doing this whole, like, website and everything, trying to keep track of when stuff was coming out, but, it just kinda got away from me. Um, and like I said, so I'm in, like, a whole, like, cycle of watching old stuff right now instead of new stuff. Um, so yeah, maybe next week I'll do like a not a what to watch, but a what's next. And we'll talk about stuff that's coming out. Isn't Thunderbolts coming out in May? 'Cause Fantastic Fours come out in July, right? Thunderbolts comes out May 2nd, so I mean, we got some time. I have not watched a single trailer for this movie. I have not watched a single trailer for this movie, for Thunderbolts. It's either gonna be good or it's not. I mean, and I usually at least watch, like, the teasers. I have not I don't think I've watched anything. Um, and before it comes out, I'll probably be, like tell you guys, like, where you guys could find the characters and other stuff maybe, but May 2nd, we got plenty of time for that. And then Superman, July 11th. And I think Fantastic Four is the 25th of July. A date night movie. You don't need any excuse to have a date night movie. Yeah, July 25th. So those are like, 3 comic movies. Oh, Black Mirror, season 7, April 10th. Yeah, Black I mean, so just a thing about Black Mirror. Do not Black Mirror is an anthology, meaning you do not have to watch it in any type of order. Each episode is its own show. They may have or may not have had episodes that hinted at other past episodes. I don't remember, but I mean, it's been 7 this is season 7. They don't come out every year. It is one of Netflix's biggest shows, but usually, like, people get excited for, like, the trailer, the casting, maybe, like, titles of some stuff. Um, so if you've never watched Black Mirror, again, it's an anthology. Every episode is its own kinda weird sciencey type, not horror, like thriller, out of the box type stuff. Um, so don't feel like you have to go and, like, binge watch all of these seasons. Um, but definitely check out some if you are interested in Black Mirror and you're hearing everybody talk about it and all of that, hyping it up, um, go ahead and check out some of the old seasons and see if you like it. Um, don't act like I remember certain scenes from certain episodes for different reasons, um, but I don't remember, like, specifically certain episode I mean, think about it kinda like The Twilight Zone. It's like The Twilight Zone, like a modern Twilight Zone, um, but just, like, they're all just written different, like like like, filmed differently, it's almost like people, like, make them and then send them in to get, like, selected to be in the show, um, but it's pretty cool, but yeah, um if you are interested, I know you probably start hearing the hype about it as it gets closer to the date, so feel free to check it out on Netflix. Um, but yeah, it is a pretty good show overall. I think there's one where, like, it's just one it's like a movie almost, um, and then that one is, like, you can watch it. I don't remember if you get to choose how you watch it or if it chooses how you watch it, meaning it plays in a certain order and it might be like a random order. so you get the information differently than like somebody else watching it. So your outcome and your idea of it altogether may be different than somebody else watching it. Um, I think that one had like just the Jesse dude in it, um, but I don't remember which one that was. But it's on there. Check it out if you're interested in stuff like that. Um, yeah. I didn't talk about. Only I ever talked about Cobra Kai. I don't remember. Um, but that's done. So go ahead, feel free to watch that in its entirety. Like the show is. Um, so go ahead and watch that. That was like 4 or 5 seasons or something. So like if you need something to binge, that's a good thing. Um, and that's it. That's all I got for the top of my head. But like I said, next week that's what I'll probably do. Do like a like what's coming up. Um, so you can kind of plan for your spring and spring and summer releases. Yeah, we can go focus on that spring and summer releases because I know y'all about to be outside, so y'all may or may not be inside to watch certain things. Yeah, I heard House of Dragon. I think Raj, you can back me up on this or not. I think House of Dragon got pushed back maybe another year. Yeah, so some of y'all will be 40 by the time it comes out. Just let that sink in. Um, wine moms, that's it. That's it. So yeah, we'll catch up next week. Probably keep it short and sweet. Y'all be careful out here. Get your allergy medicines ready. Don't let this weather fool y'all, man. It's crazy. Y'all be outside partying one day, the next day y'all be, you know, the next day, right? Trying to find a box of tissues and some, cough drops somewhere. So I'll just be seeing out here, especially with the weather, the rain, the tornadoes. Heard some bad pileups and stuff happening on the road. So safe travels if y'all going out for spring break, stuff like that. Um, Duncan series premiering, so that I have what do you know about this stuff? I have no idea what that is. Dunk and A? Oh, Tales of Duncan A. It's a book, so you probably read the book. Is this Game of Thrones? A Knight of the Seven series, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. That's Game of Thrones. It says late 2025, my guy. How's it keeping you occupied? Late 2025? First episode date 2025. There's not even a release date. You got a you got a release date on me? Right, exactly. So don't worry, I'll be back next week for you too. Let y'all know what to look forward to. I know the Last of Us trailer just dropped, so we'll talk about all of that. Yeah, exactly. April, May, and June, real sparse right now. All right, people. Well, I'm gonna eat my barbecue chicken, so I love y'all. Um, I think I'm supposed to have a saying. I don't know. I'm still working on all of that. Uh, love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. So we had 89 views. It's been a little over 2 hours, almost 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is awesome. And I do appreciate y'all. For those of you that got login names, and those of y'all don't, that just be creeping in the shadows. I appreciate all y'all. Even if y'all watching because you hate me, I appreciate you too. Um, enjoy the work week, enjoy the spring break. If y'all got that going up, try not to go ham on these kids running through your households, man. Bubble wrap it if you have to. All right, so this is your favorite cousin London signing off. Yada yada yada. Like, share, subscribe.